Yo, 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 yo. What's up, man? It's Monday afternoon, 1 o'clock, man. Pop-up showtime, man. And
Yes,
we
sir.
always trying to give y'all some good content. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all weekend. I enjoyed mine exclusively, man. Right off top, man, I'm gonna tell you, be honest with you. I'm trying to be transparent as I always am.
Uh-huh,
Um,
uh-huh.
your boy got baptized, man. Joined the church, gave my life to Christ, man, and it was time because as we see what's going on in the world today, man, the devil busy, man. So you got to get God in your corner, because things just gonna always happen, and you just got to keep the faith in things. So I took that leap, and trust me, I feel better, and I talked to some people over the weekend. So time to put your life in the right direction, and hey, it's all good, man. But as always,
Sure.
man, look, tell the people what's up, man. Then we're gonna get a shout out before we start, man.
Hey man, congratulations first to you, Smitty. You know what I'm saying? That's
Appreciate
right
it.
there is like the best news really we can talk about all day. But
Fact.
you know what I'm saying? We're outside of that, we are gonna talk some Falcon football. We told you it was gonna come with previewing the camp battles. I know we really like a month away from the start of training camp as it starts July 24th. Make sure you're there if you can make it. So yeah, we're doing that, but we're gonna preview camp battles, starting with the cornerback position, man. Cornerback edition. So man, we're gonna get into it, man. Y'all come on in, come
There's a lot.
chill with us.
There's a lot of addition too, boy. Because I'm looking at the roster. Woo!
Yeah, man, it's a lot of
I
guys.
think I think it's about 11 or 12 guys on the roster at the cornerback position.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be like a buffet. Everybody pick what you like to eat and what you don't like to eat. Just leave it there. But say what's up to the chat right quick, man. My boy William Amy checking in. King Richie, what's good, my dude? Justin Swisher Sweets. What's up, man? Vontae Neal, Anthony Ames, Curtis Davis, what's good, my dude? Larry, Seth, what's up, man? One of my number one fans, Miss Tiff, what's good? What's good? She working on breaking out a YouTube channel, man. So
Oh,
she gonna bring y'all some content soon. So y'all stay tuned for that. But first of all, man, also Dan the man, what's
and
good, my
man.
dude? Country boy, Dre Murphy, what's good, man? So how y'all feel about Clark Phillips? I think he's pretty underrated. Will have a big impact
Oh, we're
season.
gonna talk about
We're
it.
gonna get into that one, man. Absolutely.
We're gonna talk about
But if y'all remember the news from over the weekend about the Falcons almost, not saying almost,
it. Hmm.
landed Jair Alexander, and that would have been a great addition, because as I said, man, we still need veterans on this team, and I know I see a lot of Falcon fans say, "Why y'all keep bringing up these old guys, these guys that are over the hill?" Jair Alexander is only about 28 years old. So him going to Baltimore, and y'all can see it more as my thoughts as I put out a video a few minutes ago, right before this live, about Jair Alexander going to the Ravens and how he could have helped the Falcons. So go check that out. But I feel like Jair Alexander would have been a great move for the Falcons. I know about the injuries. I know about all this contract talk, but he only signed for 1 year, $6 million. Falcons could have found a way to afford that money. So again, opportunity missed, but again, hey, it's what he do, man. He chose Baltimore over Atlanta and
Right,
Miami, and it
right.
happens. Tonyo, what's up, my guy?
And the
But
thing,
tell me right quick what you think, man.
oh man, just real quick. I mean, of course, I was on the Jair Alexander train. I feel like he could have came in and helped the Atlanta Falcons. But I mean, at the end of the day, and we're gonna get into it, we're gonna also gonna see it. We have plenty of cornerbacks, plenty of competition that we're gonna be, so going into training camp with. So at the same time, Jair, yes, man, 1 year, 6 mil. That would have been great because I definitely believe we could have trimmed a little fat just to make that happen. Yes, I do believe that could have happened, but I believe the Falcons believe in the room, the cornerback room that they have, the competition that they have, the guys that are already there in the midst of it. And I think they're going to roll it with the a young core of guys that we have more so than going with another veteran because we do have quality vets on the staff. We do have veterans that are used to the scheme, used to some of the coaching staff. So when you bottle all that up and you think about it, the Falcons, I believe, were just comfortable staying where they are. And we talked about that being a possibility as well, even though we did say Jair and Jalen would definitely be, a boost, So, hey, it's all good.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with a boost, man. Ain't nothing wrong with a boost. Shout out
Nah,
to my boy M Dub, man.
what it do? What it do?
Michael Ward, the franchise player. Mike, stay safe over there, man. If y'all haven't been watching the news, man, that Iran situation to
Yeah,
me is
man.
going to get a little bit more ugly as time passes. So y'all got to pray that nothing happens over here on our turf, because
Seriously,
sometimes the craziest things can happen.
gotta
So
stay
Mike,
prayed up.
Mike, please stay safe over there, my brother.
Yes, sir. Prayed
Because
up.
this world, honestly, and that's another reason I made the decision I made over the weekend, man. You just don't never know what's gonna happen, man. You never know what's gonna happen because, as I tell y'all, even though I know God in control, the
Hmm.
devil just have just as much power. Because
Busy.
you have people just like I have faith in Christ. Some people have faith in the devil, but they'll never tell you that.
That
But
is true.
let's
Man.
get this thing going, man. Cornerbacks. We know AJ Terrell. We'll just start off right there. AJ Terrell is the number one corner. No
Yeah.
ifs, ands, buts about it. Um, Excellent year last year. He got back on track. Ended up with I
Hmm.
think 2 interceptions last year after going the previous 3 seasons without an interception. That was tough. And
Yeah.
part of that, um, look, I'm telling you, AJ with Jerry Gray, and he spoke on it on the Waterboy show about not having a pass rush. So now that
Hmm.
they have pass rush, I think AJ Terrell is probably going to play even better. We can see even more turnovers because one thing about it, you need an effective pass rush to help these corners take chances to make these turnovers. So AJ Terrell took advantage of that last year, and him being the number one corner, I think for years to come. What do you think AJ can do this year to make things a little bit better?
Oh well, shoot, continue to be the cornerback that he is, the CB1. Of course, so being excellent, so in the cover schemes, also, so being that sticky coverage corner that in that man coverage, especially that we seen in the second half of the season. Like that's the AJ Terrell that I'm looking forward to that we seen in the second half of the season. Just saying being Officer Terrell, putting guys in jail. Like I really can see him being that. We already know run support. He does that. He's never been shy to stick his head in there. So he's going to continue to do that. I think he's going to lock down like the backside on zone coverages. He's going to allow Jeff Ulbrich to do different things because he's going to take away part of the field. So I'm looking for AJ Terrell to still be our true cornerback one. The scheme fit is going to be excellent. I think AJ Terrell, and we remember even Daniel Flick when he was on here just a few days ago. And he was saying that he believes that AJ Terrell is really enjoying life right now. And I believe what Daniel says. I believe from what I've been seeing in the interviews, AJ, he's laid back, but you can still see that he's excited in his own way. And I believe that that's going to continue to translate. Very excited about this season for AJ Terrell. Could be his best season. We'll see.
And also, I love what he brings to this defensive backfield.
Hmm.
Bringing in guys like Kobe Bryant, having Clark Phillips back, Billy Bowman, who's going to play in the nickel, and he can play safety or corner. You got a guy like AJ Terrell that can help all these guys that are younger, help them transition into the NFL by using his knowledge on how to cover, when to bump and run, how to play zone, how to play man. And then you have Jerry Gray, one of the best defensive minds in the league that he doesn't get credit for.
Yes.
Hell of a defensive back, cornerback in his days with the Rams, former All Pro. So when you look at the makeup of the defense, also with Jeff Ulbrich, Raheem Morris, who's also a defensive back guy. So I feel like AJ Terrell, along with these coaches, is going to make this roster just a little bit better. But quarterback number two, should Mike Hughes
Ooh.
win that position, or will he get better? Will he get tested the entire season by these young guys?
No, man. Just if we're talking about just that question, I believe it's going to be a test. It's going to be a test for Mike Hughes the entire season, and I believe that he still is one of the best corners we have. Let's just be honest. If you look at Mike Hughes' season last year in the capsule, you'll see some good times, you'll see a few bad times, but for the most part, especially in the beginning of the season, he was definitely solid. But of course, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So I believe that he is going to be pushed forward. He's going to have to play his best, bring his best week in and week out, day in, day out on the practice field and everything too, because got some young, hungry lions behind them, man, and they're ready to get on the field and show what they got as well. So it's going to be a very important training camp and off season leading up into the regular season for Mike Hughes, I believe.
And shout out to him, man, for getting that 3-year deal, man. 3 years,
Yes,
18 million.
he
That's
earned that.
roughly on average 6 million a year. But I'm pretty sure he got a good little bit of that up front. So it'll be a little bit soft on the back end, which probably means it's really a 2-year deal. Because I'm pretty sure that third year is probably gonna be next to nothing when it comes to guaranteed money.
Hmm.
But bringing him back, let's get into right quick. We're gonna pull up the defensive backfield for y'all, and if y'all notice, this it's pretty full. Because if
Loaded.
you look at AJ Terrell on one side, Mike Hughes on the other, then they have D Offer slotted at the nickel. But this is why I said that you're gonna have to watch and see, because Mike Ford, who I
Mhm.
don't think who to me is a special teams guy.
Right.
Natron Brooks played in a couple of games, but that Denver game when he started, he got cooked the whole game. You have Lamar Jackson, not that Lamar Jackson. You have Clark Phillips behind AJ Terrell,
Right.
which I feel like Clark Phillips should be in the nickel. You have Keith Taylor, who's a special teams guy. Then you have rookie undrafted free agent Dante Manning, who
Yep.
has speed, size, and good ball instincts. And then you have at the nickel, you have Billy Bowman. Then you have Kobe Bryant. So
Mhm.
that is 4, 5,
And
6,
and
7,
I know
8,
they I know
9,
they
10,
have Kevin
11
King.
cornerbacks.
And I know they have Kevin King at safety, but they'll roll him at a cornerback
As
too,
a
depending. But
nickel corner,
he's energy.
exactly.
Yeah, but he can play both positions. You already know that. Have that size and that long being long and rangy for the position and everything. So they like him as well though too, and especially with that frame. So and then what Ulbrich, he likes big corners too. I wouldn't be surprised. Jerry Gray. Uh, I, it's just he has relationships and he has intangibles, so I can definitely see him still possibly being in that mix too.
Right. But the thing that I'm going to speak on right quick is the nickel position. I
Mhm.
think this is going to be the key position for everybody to look out for. Because you talk about AJ, you talk about Mike Hughes,
Right.
then you talk about D. Alford and Billy Bowman. As our girl Carrie said during the draft,
Mhm.
this is what she tweeted out. Shout out to Miss Carrie
Shout
from
out to Kerry.
uh,
Shout out to Kerry.
to One Time for the Fan.
Hmm.
She put this out right quick. Falcons select Billy Bowman with pick 118 in the fourth round. He'll play nickel per Jeff Ulbrich and Jerry Gray. 8 interceptions in the last 2 years, three of those pick sixes, 11 interceptions in 3 years, runs a
Hmm.
4.42, which is pretty quick for a defensive back, especially a
Love
safety.
it.
So nickel would be perfect for him. But since they picked him for the nickel, I'm going to take him over D. Offer. And I know D. Offer is the veteran, but
Hmm.
Billy Bowman, they've been raving about him, his instincts, his ability to play in the box, his ability to play in the slot, and his ability to play single high if he need be. And y'all got to remember, Billy Bowman's another one of those guys. Was also a receiver, was also a cornerback, was also a safety. So he
Yeah.
offers that position from different perspectives. So him being in the nickel, it won't be a surprise. Uh, a lot of people have said he reminded them just a little bit of a Tyrann Matthew. And if y'all know
Hmm.
about Tyrann Matthew, he's one of those guys you can move all over the field and look, he can play in the slot. He's going to be against those physical corners. Then you can have him up on the line or in the box to blitz. Or, like I said, you can have end zone, single high safety. And I think it's just so many ways that you could use Billy Bowman. He's going to
Man,
be a Swiss Army knife. But right quick, that nickel position, who do you think wins it? Because there's another name on
that's
there
tough.
too, and that's
Yeah,
Kobe
that's
Bryant, who Jerry Gray has been working with exclusively. We've been seeing it on film and highlights that he really knows Kobe Bryant can. He could probably help this team a lot. But who do you think win that nickel position?
Man, just because of what I'm seeing, like I want to take Kobe Bryant just off of GP. But I mean, if Billy Bowman is already in that position, it's really going to be hard to see um me give it to, I'm saying, just Kobe just right out, because if you're competing against Billy, that's some real competition there. I mean, we're talking about Billy Bowman. I feel like he has outstanding awareness, especially, what I'm saying, being with the underneath zones. If you notice, he's strong versus running backs and tight ends as well.
Facts.
Almost going back to that Tyrann Matthew thing is too as well, because he's physical, especially in the run support as well. He can close in fast. He hits the opposing player pretty hard. He can blitz as well, so he will give Jeff Ulbrich that opportunity and that flexibility to be rotational between like a nickel, dime, some bases. It's so he can be so valuable in different sub packages. So with that being said, it's just Kobe Bryant brings a lot of good things as well, but just like Billy Bowman, man, it's gonna be hard for my man Kobe to get over Billy. That's my whole thing right there. But Kobe Bryant has every intangible as well too. He has great ball skills. We've seen that. We've talked about that fluidity in the hips. I know that they say the 4.5. A lot of people are really on that 4.5 as far as like the 40. That's crazy. But my man got football speed.
Yeah, but
And,
that to me, and see, this is
right.
what people don't understand about Devin Hester. Devin Hester was one of the best return men in football. Now he
Yes.
was fast, and as Deion Sanders alluded to it, he had crackhead speed when it came to being on the field. And
Right.
Vontae Neal, while you bringing that up, yeah, I know, Avon. I've already spoken to him. He's going to come on the show, and we're going to collab. So y'all will get to him to break down the film, and y'all will get to talk to him exclusive because we're gonna work on that, man. But we're gonna have him on
Yeah.
the show.
About to fix.
But yeah, I agree, man. When you talk about a versatile player like that, and you talk about Kobe Bryant, when
Yeah.
the Falcons get into a sub package as far as a dime defense, and you have both of these guys on the field, teams are not going
Man.
to know which way the Falcons are going to come because you have Bowman on one side, you have Kobe on the other, then you have Jordan Fuller, Jesse Bates behind them, AJ Terrell, Mike Hughes, and then outside of that you got Leonard Floyd and Ebiketie or what's the other kid, Jalen Walker or James Pierce. So the Falcons dime defense is probably going to be a little bit scary because that linebacker, we already know you got Cade Ellis, and you
Right.
don't really know what you're going to do with him because he's another guy that can blitz. So
Right.
it's just
Now and
go
then
ahead.
about Kobe Bryant too. I more so see him eventually probably trying to compete for the outside role. I know that people may see maybe Clark Phillips, I think, competing for the outside role. I mean, he is the veteran, and I can see that too, man. I can. It's going to be so much competition, and guys are going to be trying to figure out where can they, find their just, their bookends and can get their just due at, should I say. And man, with Kobe Bryant, I can see him more so on the outside because I feel like he's more so of an outside corner than the nickel. But I feel the same way kind of about Clark Phillips. So that's gonna be tough, bro. It's gonna be so interesting to see about
But
these cornerbacks. And we have like what you say, like 11, 12 guys.
yeah, 11. Yeah, so I mean,
Yes.
but that's a good problem to have
Oh yeah.
because if you're having a question what guys you're going to use on what sub package, um,
Hmm.
I mean, if you have a problem with that, that lets me know it's going to have offensive coordinators up at night knowing who to
Right.
game plan for. Because if
Right.
you
It
game
is.
plan for Billy Bowman in the nickel and you have a Kobe Bryant or even Mike Hughes in the nickel, I'm sorry,
Mhm.
in the slot, if you have either one of those guys in the slot, that's a good problem to have because as I've been saying, the team that we're playing, a lot of these teams are three wide receivers deep. So you're going to have to be physical with a lot of these guys. You talk
Right.
about even in our division, Chris Godwin comes back. You still have
Right.
Mike Evans. You still have McMillan, who had a decent season as a rookie last year. New Orleans, even though they're rebuilding, still have Chris Olave. You still have
Yeah.
other receivers on that team. Then you have Carolina, Leggett.
They got some guys now.
Right.
Then they
So
went and got what Tex. And they went and got that guy there, Drake London, pretty much. They went and got him too. So
right. So
they got
yeah.
a few,
So
few pieces over there.
yeah. So
So again,
cornerback.
you're going to have
Go
to
ahead.
have cornerbacks, and cornerbacks is going to be one of the strengths of this team. It has been, I believe, it's going to continue to be because what Raheem, what I'm saying, coach cornerbacks. You got Jerry Gray, what I'm saying. You have these veterans that like Jesse Bates and like AJ Terrell on there, and then you have strong guys who are candidates to become great players like the Bowmans, like so even Xavier Watson. I know we'll get to him in another episode, but so we'll have guys like that, saying, who are coming in that corner, in that DB position, that DB role, and just saying, putting their best foot forward out there for the Atlanta Falcons on the field, man. I really can't wait for it to see it. I'm really excited by this, but I want to ask you this, Smitty. Let's do a process of elimination real quick,
Go ahead.
because we got a lot of guys here, and we would say like 11 guys. Like, so for me, first of all, what number of guys do you feel like, as far as corners, that we would keep, and what would be the process of elimination as far as like guys who are gone?
Okay. I'm gonna put it like this. My process of elimination is, how does this corner fit what you're trying to do? And what I mean by that, can this corner play outside? Can this corner play nickel? Can this corner play slot? Uh, what does he have? How does he help you on special teams? And that's a big one. So as I'm looking at the cornerback room, AJ Terrell, Mike Hughes safe already.
Okay.
D
Okay.
offer is iffy. They have him in the nickel, but he also helps you on special teams as far as a punt returner, as far as the gunner, he can help you. So in that aspect, he's probably safe. Mike Ford, special teams guy, that's what they brought him in for.
Okay.
To me, he's on the bubble. Natron Means, special teams guy, on the bubble. Lamar Jackson, same thing, on the bubble. So there's three on the bubble right there off
Mhm.
the left cornerback position. Now you
Mhm.
move down to the right side with AJ Terrell. Clark Phillips can play in the slot, can play outside. I feel he's safe. He's a playmaker. Keith Taylor, bubble, but he's a special teams guy. Dante Manning, definitely bubble because he's an undrafted free agent. Then you move to the nickelback position.
Mhm.
D offer, as I said, special teams guy, veteran, can play inside, outside. I feel he's safe, but I don't know. But Billy Bowman, who, as we just saw with Kerry's tweet, they drafted him exclusively to play the nickel, and he's a
Mhm.
special teams ace out of
Yeah.
college. I feel like he's safe because he plays safety, he plays corner, and he plays special teams well. So he's safe. Kobe Bryant, I want to say roster bubble, but I feel like he's safe because of what he brings with his physical, his mentality, his attitude. Playing outside or inside, and he can also be a special teams guy, depending on how they want to use him. So those are those would be my six. So I'm looking at D. Offer, Billy Bowman, Kobe Bryant, outside of Mike Hughes and AJ Terrell, and that last one probably would be uh, Keith Taylor because of his special teams ability. And as we said, Kevin King could play nickel, or I'm sorry, slot or safety. So Kevin King
Mhm.
is another one. So those would be my six.
Okay. Okay. That's a good one. That's a good one. For me, I think we end up keeping maybe about 7 DBs, because again, I feel like it's going to be one of the strengths and everything. And I will put Kevin King in that list. I just because he can play the safety, he can play the corner, he has the relationships. Like, of course, you don't necessarily want him to be, something like a every down guy or something like that. You would want him to be more so situational, or
Right.
use his strengths as much as possible. But that's one guy who I'm thinking about. Of course, AJ Terrell, outside corner. Clark Phillips was going to be more so like inside outside versatility. So I think he makes it.
Right.
Of course, Billy Bowman is definitely there. Slot corner could be, it's in a dime DB, dimes. What did we put? I heard a term. Buzz safety is our term I've heard.
Yeah,
So
I've
yeah,
heard that.
yeah. So that as well. I'm going with Kobe Bryant. I believe he can definitely, battle for that number 2 role. Possibly. A press zone specialist, possibly. You never know. He may be on some special teams as well. I still believe he makes the team. Like I said, I've already said Kevin King. Uh, I'm gonna roll with D. Alford as well. Special teamer, nickel corner. Definitely knows the system and everything like that. Definitely has been on the team. Yeah. Those are probably, if I had to choose, those would probably be the guys for me. Everybody else is pretty much on the bubble or possibly on the way out.
Yeah, or they could end up on practice squad. But
Right,
if
right.
I just got a
And
feeling,
and
if
I hate it because I like Natron Brooks, but
oh
I
yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah, he's solid, solid.
Yeah.
But the the it's a good problem to have, but if you
Hmm.
make the wrong cuts and they end up on practice squad, you could possibly end up losing those players.
That's true.
As we've seen in the past, if you somehow uh cut the wrong person, they end up on another team and they end up breaking out, and you don't want to see that.
Right.
So they have to make the right cuts, and this is why I went Billy Bowman and Kobe Bryant as undrafted rookies, making the 53-man roster because if you lose Kobe Bryant, he could end up on another squad and look, he may break out because I'm telling you, San
He has
Francisco
the
is a
talent,
great place because they
bro.
need cornerback help. Even though they drafted a corner and brought in free agents, they still need help at the cornerback position. Mike Ford, who's a special teams guy, we know what he is. We had him last year or year before last, and he's mainly a special teams guy, but he did hit the field a couple of times.
Hmm.
But the Falcons' biggest problem is just going to be versatility and what do these guys bring. Just like I said, and most of the guys that I picked, they can play inside, outside, and they can contribute on special teams. Those are the
Hmm.
reasons why I picked the six that I picked. So it's just a
Same,
wait and see
same.
with me because versatility is just key.
Yeah, man. And that is, no, man. I'm telling you, man. It's
Nah,
not
we
that at all. It's not. Honestly, Clark Phillips, he's going to compete. Okay, he's going to compete. But will he win these starting jobs with all this other talent out here? I'm just sorry. There's no way to be certain of that. And I mean, my thing is Clark Phillips is tough for his size, and he is like I think he can play on the outside really well. But will he get that opportunity over some of these other guys that are coming in? That is yet to be seen. He has to go prove that. So until he goes and prove that, then you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, I guess we're all just talking.
yeah, but I understand. Like William Amy is saying, I understand why people are concerned about his size at 5'9". But at the end of the day, if he works on his technique against big body receivers, size wouldn't matter because he would know how to force receivers outside, or he can find a way to bait them inside. And just force turnovers. Like just for instance, the Carolina game where he broke on that route. If he sits back in his zone and learns how to play zone, you can see more turnovers. Like I said, if he learns how to play better man, and I feel like Jerry Greer is going to help him with this, uh, Clark Phillips can end up being one of those players that could be a turnover machine, that could be a nickel guy that could come in and transform this defense because all it really takes,
He needs opportunities, bro. I
yeah,
mean,
just
look
like
at Brent.
everywhere
Look,
else.
remember Brent Grimes. So he
Same
knew
as
everybody needs
And the funny thing
opportunities.
about it,
And that's why you just got to
hold
go
on,
out there
Chris,
and play
hold
the
on.
game.
Funny thing
What you
about it, Brent Grimes, I'm glad you brought that up. Grimes, and I saw Brent Grimes in person. They had him listed at 5'9.5". Brent
man?
Grimes, he was barely over 5'8", barely under. He was
Brent
barely
Grimes
5'8".
about as tall as this bottle, okay?
Yeah.
But still,
So
but still went out there week in and week out, man. I ain't gonna lie. And some weeks was just some of one of our best corners. So at the end of the day, it is all about it is, what I'm saying, it can be about size sometimes. Because I mean, you still don't want to, match up guys like that against, guys like Julio or guys like Calvin Johnson all the time. But still, I like Clark Phillips, man. I like the when we had drafted him then because I knew what he was doing. What I'm saying, just being that scrappy guy, and he's not afraid to take on anybody. But at the end of the day, like I said, and this goes for Clark, it goes for everybody that we named. You know what I'm saying? They got to go out there and play. And because it's a lot of competition that you see, man, you see this DB room. I mean, we're just talking about the corners. We ain't even add in the safeties, the few safeties that we have as well. So, man, it's just gonna be so much competition. Again, I say again, if you can get to training camp to go see for yourself, please try to take the time to go do that. Use some PTO time, something, man. Just go enjoy yourself because you deserve that as a Falcon fan if you can make it. Like seriously.
And this is just what we try and say, Tony, right? He's absolutely one of the smartest players on the field. If you watch him from his days in Utah and him covering these cornerbacks in college, you talk about a guy that had pick sixes every other game damn near. He was just making plays every other game or every game. He was finding a way to make plays. And like I said, all he has to do is keep getting reps and keep developing. Clark Phillips could easily be one of the best slot corners in the league. And this is, like I said, it's a good problem to have. But one thing about it, if they evolve into a starting caliber corner, guess what? That's when they end up going to other teams because they want more money. They want a starting position. But that's just the game of football, and that's just how it's played. But Vontae Neal, man, it's all good, man. Ain't no hard feeling. We just talking, man. We just, having fun, man. We not passing blame or none of that.
Oh no.
But
It's definitely all love. We rep the
yeah,
same team. The heck,
right.
it's all love regardless.
And I
Mhm.
agree. I agree. ATL Falcons. I don't care who starts, just longer they hit the field and they doing their job.
I love that. That's what I'm saying. Let the best player be in a Falcon uniform. Like it ain't even about like we know AJ Terrell is definitely there, but outside of AJ Terrell, I really believe it's really open competition
Yeah,
at every position.
because
Well,
go ahead. Go ahead.
on the cornerback, just in the cornerback position.
Right.
I really believe that. So I'm all for it, man. Let's get some
And
good and real quick, we can have
yeah,
some
go ahead.
good depth as well because look at these names and some of these guys, some of this talent. We can also have good depth. And one thing that you have to do when you're trying to go chase a championship is have depth at each position.
Yep. Up. And Lopez, I agree. Mike Hughes has earned that. He earned that contract and he earned that starting spot. But if you
Yeah,
have younger corners that's going to challenge him for that position, the coaches are going to make that decision. Hey, if we can
right.
get this younger guy in, he's playing better at this position. He's forcing more turnovers. And when you talk about, yards per catch, you talk about receiving yards, they look at all of that. Analytics is a big part of how these coaches fix their lineup. So if the analytics favor, let's just say for instance, if the analytics favor Clark Phillips outside more than inside, and then you have Billy Bowman on the inside, guess what? They're going to make the deal. They're going to make the change.
It's gonna happen.
It's just coaching 101. Whoever is producing at any position, that's who's going to be on the field. Point blank. Period. So yeah, I mean, it's a good problem to have, like I said. But with Mike Hughes, um, I'm glad I'm glad he's coming back. And I know people always talk about that Minnesota game, but that was a disaster for everybody on that
Dang.
defense, not just one player.
Yeah, we can point out a few players in that game that just okay. So yeah, man, we can't just jump all on one player and for that one. And we were right in that game, man. We were tied up, and then it just went off the rails. So went off the rails a bit. So team loss, team loss,
Yeah, but it's just gonna be interesting to see
team
how
loss for sure.
things stack up. But before we get out of there, man, we'll open up chat for a little bit, and y'all can come in and tell us how y'all feel about the cornerback position. We know about AJ Terrell and all that good stuff. But outside of AJ Terrell, who's y'all number two? Who do you have a sleeper pick to be a starter by the end of the season? Because I mean that can go more than one way. Just come on in the chat for a quick second, talk to us, and then we're gonna roll, man.
Sir, yes, sir. Cornerback edition camp battles for the Atlanta Falcons, man. Definitely can't wait to jump into the safeties, the linebackers, what defensive line, man. We got some things to talk about.
Facts. Our boy
Offensive
William
line.
Amy gonna jump in right quick. Will, what's up, man?
What up, Will? Can't hear you, big dog. On can't hear you.
Hold on. Yeah, I had to disconnect my Bluetooth because my brother had my car. What's going on, fellas?
What's happening?
Nothing much, man. So what's up, Smitty, man? I'm excited for the season, man. I'm trying to get my Michael Penix jersey, the white one. They sold out, so I got to wait until it stock up in Atlanta. I'm gonna be down there in training camp. But what y'all was saying about corner two spot, y'all be hitting the nail on the coffin, man. This training camp gonna be competitive this year, and I fulfill you, Smitty, and on A1, everybody got to compete for that position. To me, Mike Hughes, he might get the nod, but I think Kobe Bryant might come for it. It's just for me, Kobe Bryant have to work on his technique and stop holding a lot. That's where he had a lot of problems.
Getting a little grabby.
He's lots of grabby, so we can't really have that. We can't really have that going on in the season. And to me, from the Nichols position, I think Billy Bowman Jr. is gonna get it. The reason why I say this is because the dude had this instant, and he reminded me of Tyrann Matthew, like you guys said. Only thing he was lacking, they made him so low in the draft, was his tackling. Sometimes he missed big tackles, but that's cleanable. Any team could coach that up. But I just feel like Billy Bowman will come in with the nod. Don't get me wrong. When we was in mid-season form, we got tore up in I guess the Commanders game when the tight ends kept picking on D. Alfred. So that nickel position is the key position. You have to learn how to tackle in the run game, stop in the slot wide receiver. Then we got Tampa Bay. So they got three wide receivers. So I just feel like Billy Bowman Jr.'s fit the script for the defense was missing. That nickel spot was a very, very important position because we got tore around the end of the season. And I just feel like even though we got Clark for the third, he could be a rotation. But I just feel like Billy Bowman Jr. have the mindset he want to win right now, and he taking somebody's spot.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what you that's why you in the league, man, to compete. And when you bring
Yeah,
in more competition, it makes some of your best players better. So
yeah.
competition is everything. But appreciate you for stopping in, Will, man. We got somebody else in the back room.
So
Okay.
So please continue to watch, and we appreciate you, man.
All right.
appreciate you, Will. That's
Next up,
old double X. That's old double X handle Will. You know what I'm saying? If you don't play right, he got your pink slip ready.
Jerome Woods. What's up, man? Talk to me right quick.
Man, what's up, Smith? What's going on
What's
with
up
it,
with
Chris?
you?
How y'all
How
today,
you
man?
feeling, fam?
Man, pretty good, pretty good. Big fan of the show. Y'all know anybody Atlanta Falcons base, whether it's AFN or y'all or Scott Kennedy, I'm on it. I just wanted to chime in real quick on the cornerback room competition. I agree with what everybody's been saying, man. But I was looking at similarities between what Auburn do, what Raheem did in 2016, and versus what they did once they left other places. And my question to y'all was, I kind of feel like Billy Bowman, as I said in the comments, man, I think he's gonna be kind of used like what Brian Poole was used like
Mm-hmm.
physical presence in the nickel position. I mean, we all remember how Poole used to come off that edge, man. And he boomed a couple of quarterbacks. I want to say Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson in the playoffs on that 2016 year. But I think he is gonna be key to the season, man. At first, looking at it, I thought, well, man, the defense is gonna kind of go coverage wise is kind of go through the play of Mike Hughes because I feel like he's going to be targeted more this year because he's the number 2 corner. I kind of feel like AJ has that reputation where teams are pretty much going to stay away from him in clutch situations.
Right.
And last year, man, I just kind of felt like offer just fell out of favor, man. I mean, everybody want to bring up the Minnesota game, which the whole secondary had a bad game. But I
Man.
want to go back to the Washington
What's
game,
what you
man.
talking about?
We needed a lot of key plays and key stops, and man, and for Jaden Daniels to be a rookie and he was targeting a 4th-year DB, that's never good. That's never good. A rookie should never have that confidence where he can say, "Hey, this is my guy that I'm going to target on this down and distance for us to move the chains, us to get a play." And I just started noticing as the season went on, they started to target off for more. I don't know if it was a technique thing. I don't know if the defense was making a transition from what Lake was doing as opposed to what Raheem wanted to do. But hopefully, that we got the pass rush improved, we got more team speed at linebacker. These guys won't have to cover as much because everybody know if your sub package linebackers are slow, it makes the whole defense overwork. And I understand that Simmons had a bad year last year, but I kind of felt like him and Bates were overcompensating for the fact that once Troy Anderson got hurt and we didn't really have anybody to roam the middle of the field from the linebacker position, they was overcompensating. They was doing too much because we all knew Lamb and the handle business out there. So, let's just
Man,
call them
listen.
spade a spade.
Man, listen, nah, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. We hated that. I think we all hated that as a Falcon fan base. But another reason why Mike Hughes was targeted was because again, Officer Terrell was on patrol, and
Right.
you couldn't get anything over there with AJ. So it's like we got to find other places to go, and that's exactly what guys were doing. So it was just like you were the weaker link. So we're gonna go ahead and roll the coverage, roll everything your way, and that's what you had. Then, of course, like you said, with the overcompensating as well too, that used to hit us up. I mean, you got to remember, you had guys like Trey McBride back talking about Richie Grant, talking about, oh yeah, match me up against him. I want like, and
And
come on, man, he was a rookie at the time, so it's just
and
like
that's what
you
I'm
see.
saying, y'all. Like, I think we finally have stopped that because I kind of think we kind of got out of what we were used to as Falcon fans under Jim Moore, under Quinn. Is that we had fast, athletic safeties and linebackers, but it seemed like we got Arthur Smith and Dean Pease and other coordinators. It's kind of like they were just satisfied with AJ being just the dog, and then just put a whole bunch of just guys around him until we got bait. But the last thing I want to ask y'all before I go, man, and like I said, I
Okay.
enjoy the show. Everybody hit them likes and subscribe button if you hadn't in the chat.
Appreciate it.
My question to y'all was, now y'all know we're gonna have about 60 something million on to the good on the books next off season. The
Mhm.
influx that we had in corners and whether it be undrafted free agents with Dante Manning and Kobe Bryant to bringing in Keith Traylor and just other Taylor, whatever his name is, all the
Yeah,
vets we
Trey
got in.
Taylor.
Do y'all think we're gonna upgrade cornerback via free agency next year, or maybe that second round pick being that we don't have a first? Thank y'all for having me, man. And like I said, man,
Appreciate
I enjoy
appreciate you,
y'all, man.
Yeah,
Jerome.
thank you,
Yes,
Jerome.
sir.
Well, that's a really
Appreciate it.
good
That's an
question,
excellent
though.
question. But I'm gonna tell you like this, Jerome, and I'm gonna tell y'all in the chat as well. We're gonna bring in Ryan right quick. But before we do, man, let me tell y'all talking about the cap space next year. Y'all
Yes,
gotta remember, Bijan Robinson is up for a contract
yes,
soon.
sir.
Drake London is up for a contract soon.
Yeah.
Caden Ellis is up for a contract soon. Jesse Bates
Mm-hmm.
is up for a contract soon. So
Mm-hmm.
they got to pick and choose who they want here long term.
What's
So as
going to
far
happen
as
with Kyle Pitts? I
right,
mean,
so
just
as far
just
as
just being real.
contracts, they got to pick and choose who they want to stay the long term. Everything else, they're going to try to fix it through the draft. That's why they made the choice to go get an extra edge rusher this year. Why? Honor Ebiketie is up for a contract. Depending
Mm-hmm.
on the year he has this year, if he's not up to part the trade deadline, I can see him getting moved. Troy Anderson hadn't worked out. So it's just a lot of questions tied into that 80 plus, 60 plus, however many millions it is.
Yeah.
It's their star
Hey,
players
guys.
that's got to get paid. They cannot make that same mistake tying up all their money into 3 or 4 players. You can't do that no more.
Got to
So now
spread
they're
it
going to
out.
have to make the tough decisions, whether it's through the draft or free agency. But I feel like we will know at the end of the year if Kyle Pitts is going to be on long term,
Mhm.
if Jesse Bates going to resign, and if Drake London gets his money either this
And
year or next year.
and
So
if the cornerback room is strong, we won't have to necessarily use a draft pick or anything on the cornerback. If the guys that we have right now are productive and producing, you possibly can go maybe in the later round and possibly just add like a piece to kind of like just add to the room and be like, okay, like we're still going to keep this strong, but you may not have to use one of your early picks if these guys pan out. But we
right.
got a guest, man. Our homie, man, Ryan, the historian, man. What's good, family? Look like he out there in that bumper to bumper traffic, man. What's happening?
I was gonna play the bumper to bumper roll, but you know what? I said the hell with it. Let me slide a little bumper to bumper over here to Smitty Sports Machine. You know, it's only right, man. But before I even get started, I want to tell you guys, I appreciate you guys helping me out with a few things with the channel and everything. We definitely appreciate it. We just hit
Right.
800 subscribers, 801 to be exact. So definitely
You're
Go.
appreciate
almost there.
definitely
Let's
appreciate
go.
y'all showing love over there. And we continue to keep spreading this Falcon content because again, man, we try to give it to the people the best way that we can, man.
Yes.
So
Yes.
definitely appreciate y'all for, being our distant cousins, as we would always say, man. We appreciate y'all over at the cage.
Oh man,
But
always.
getting to it, man. Let's dive into it. I'm gonna do it bumper to bumper style. I'll tailor some of my language so I don't get y'all in trouble. But I'll say this. looking at this season right now, I think we have a chance to win our division. And I think we have a chance to get into the playoffs and actually make some noise, to be honest. Now, the question is, can we be competent enough and consistent enough and concise enough with our play on the field? Because we've seen where we look like all-stars one week and then we'll disappear. Now, the question is, are we going to let these guys that we just brought in run this team, or is it going to be too many hands in the pot? That's the other thing, because you got a lot of big egos on this team coming in here.
Right.
Not just players, but also with coaches that have backgrounds of having top tier defenses or top tier pass rushers. So getting to it, honestly, on the defensive side of the ball, I see a lot of things that's gonna happen. Honor Educated to me is in the same boat Kyle Pitts is in right now, if you want to be honest. And I'm just speaking on the defensive side.
Absolutely.
You got two young studs here. You also have Trice, who they just drafted, and you got a young Zach Harrison on this team still that still has not even really tapped into his full potential. So at this point, Ebiketti's got to perform. If he doesn't perform, he puts himself at the mercy of the axe, or as what we would say is as William would do, he liked to hand out pink slips. And pretty much, y'all call him axe handle Will, man. We call him pretty much pink slip Will on the bird cage, dog. So that's what we call him. He be wanting to fire everybody up in here. But outside of firing folks or whatnot, you really got to look at the production side of things, because if it's not adding up, why are we going to waste money? Makes no sense.
That's true.
I know people love players and they love hearing these guys have the potential to do this. The potential ain't shit. I mean, nothing. Excuse me. I apologize. I told you I got to tell them my language. I apologize. Y'all forgive me for
The
that.
potential ain't nothing. I get it.
The potential ain't nothing. I'm sorry. I Lord forgive me for that. I owe y'all some money in the cussing jar. But the potential means nothing at this point. You have to produce results. And my thing is, I'm not at a place where I'm just going to go off potential. I need results. I need these guys that are in this system to perform. If you've been here longer than 3 years, you have no excuse at this point. You're a seasoned vet. You're a seasoned vet. And at this point, you know, I know this might sound crazy, but I'm looking into Arthur Blank's office. I want to get my strength and conditioning coaches right, and my nutritionist and everything else. See, I'm gonna speak on the stuff no one else wants to talk about when it comes to that, because that plays a big part into how we can matriculate and how we can get through a 17-game season. When you look at injuries, when you look at how guys are able to stay ready for the season, you know what I'm saying? That plays a big part into that. Kyle Pitts is starting up the season with an injury. Come on. That's not good.
Yeah, that's not good.
That is not good. Your strength and conditioning program and your coordinators that are running this thing, you have to invest into this. If you ever notice, teams are going to deal with injuries. It's the teams that deal with major injuries and how they manage that or whatnot and how they can get it. And I think that we've managed this well, because on the undrafted free agent side of the house, this is something I've been preaching for years. We finally have players that actually can start, that are backups.
Yep.
We actually got guys that can start. A lot of people don't want to hear this. Let's just say this here. We have a perfectly good tight end in Joshua Simon, who definitely could be a second, third round pick and ball out.
Who's making some waves.
Yeah.
Already making waves. I said this before he was drafted, and I caught a lot of hell for that. But now you're starting to hear it come out now. Understand this, Pitt's job ain't safe like y'all think, folks.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's not safe.
We know that.
And when you got a guy that can block, catch, and do his thing or whatnot, and literally be a football player, not just a specific position, hey man, that makes you expendable at that point. It makes you expendable, like in the workforce.
And we talk about future draft picks. We lost the first and the fifth already next year. Yep. So Kyle Pitts market value going forward could put us back to where we need to be next year, if they can get at least a second or a third round pick for Kyle Pitts, then you talk about moving back up into the bottom of the first round. If you compare that second and that third round pick, so his value is going to be key going forward, no matter what. No matter what. So yeah, I can see Simon.
I like that comment. Robert Blackman says, he says, I don't think Arnold will get re-signed unless he gets over 10 sacks. And
I can
remember,
see that.
I was saying about Arnold, I was like, if any year was the year to go ahead and get those double-digit sacks, it's this year, because he's supposed to have 9 last year. A few got called back, so we'll give him that grace in that, because it was not his fault. It was not his penalty. Right. So penalties, but at the same time, now is the time, Arnold. Now is the time. I really want Arnold to ball so good that it will be hard to pay him, because that means he paid dividends on that defensive line, getting to the cornerbacks, getting them on the ground, and obviously helping us get into a playoff run. So, I mean, yeah, it is time for Arnold to get those double-digit sacks. I believe he has the potential. He's right there. It's time to show it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a guy who I think we need to draft, and y'all might say it's crazy or whatnot. I think we need to get off the Cadavius Street truck, and we need to get Taquan Graham up out of here. If we do get some good value, if he lasts, if he actually lasts, go get Peter Woods out of Clemson. You talking about a 300 and something pound defensive tackle that's nothing but a dancing bear and is a problem in the middle of the field and plays every spot on the line. So if I'm looking at possibly making something happen and building up my depth, I'm going to get somebody to pair up with Morgan Fox. I'm looking to pair him up with another elite defensive tackle, because he's a good defensive tackle. Don't get it twisted. But if you give him somebody he can rotate with and can get good reps, that is going to take pressure off of your linebacking core. That is going to take pressure off of your edge rushers, because guess what? They can eat up two tackles a guard, center, or the tackle. However, you're going to create lanes.
Was just about to ask about old Simeon Burrow. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you. So always looking out and shit. But
nice.
Yeah, though, man, Simeon Burrow, man. I just Burrow, man. I'm thinking about him too, and it's like I feel like he's a sleeper. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, he in the dark now, but at the same time,
he just player of the year defensively last year, bro. So he ain't too much in the dark.
Yeah, but I'm just, only reason I say this just because it is a loaded defensive line room. How guys like that familiarity stuff like that, but I'm still on the train where I don't care about the names. I want the best players in Falcon uniforms. I've been watching the kid, off and on. I like what he could bring to the defensive line. I like the attitude. I like the mean streak. So it's just like, if you are doing something like that, hey, maybe TQ possibly could be gone. But I think that they're holding on to the possibility that 2022 season when Dean Pease was here, that was like the best we've seen of Taquan Graham. And I think they're trying to see if they can get him back to that.
I'm gonna take it in another direction, and I'm gonna answer the question what was earlier. He talked about cornerback being a position going into 2026 draft. I think linebacker is a major need even right now. Yeah, we drafted Jalen Walker. Yeah, we still have Caden Ellis, but Troy Anderson can't stay stable. We lost Nate Landman, and what depth do we really have at the position?
Well, what about Nick Kubitz, who possibly could, come in and possibly,
right now he's going to be a special teams guy. Let's just keep it real. I don't think he's developed far enough to even hit the field. So linebacker going into this season, depending on, as I said earlier, depending on cap casualties and veterans being kicked out by younger guys, like we always talk about. That's still a position that you're going to have to fix going into the regular season, because we don't know we're getting in Troy Anderson. Yeah, when he's healthy, he's a solid player. Yeah. But when he's injured, it's a liability.
And when he get injured.
Yeah, that's the problem. You got this man who spends more time at Piedmont Hospital than he does on the sideline. It's just what it is. The man got his own suite up there. That's how much time he spent up there. Cool. So but here's my thing. You got a guy that is a project linebacker. Let's go ahead and put this out here. See, everybody wants to talk about the potential. Like I said earlier, this is my thing. You can't sit there and speak on just potential. The man only played linebacker really 2 years in his life.
Right.
1 year.
Well, they don't throw him above.
And StreamYard.
That dog got
So-
Ryan looking crazy with the bumper to bumper.
So
All right,
what
we
about
back,
him?
we back. Now we
So
back.
here's my thing. When you sit back and you look at it, he's never really had a clean bill of health since he's been here. He's had serious injuries since he's been here. And you're talking about a guy that's learning how to be a linebacker. If you're a linebacker, you're either going to have this is where your learning ground is, either in high school or when you get to college, if you get put into that position. And you have to understand the intricacies of that position are so dynamic, and it's so unique, because you not only have to be a brain on the defense, you have to be a guy that can shed a 300-pounder to go make a play. You have to be a guy that is going to know where everybody is and put everybody in the right place. Trey Anderson is a smart guy, but if you're not durable, what good are you? Diablo's here. Diablo's going to be a heat-seeking missile. But again, I'm with you guys. What type of depth are we going to have at this point? Because I've said this on the birdcage, and let me slide because I don't want to steal too much of your thunder.
No, you good. You good. Keep going. Keep going.
Think about it. Championship teams have depth.
Yep.
Great playoff teams have depth. We are just getting into that place of breaking from being competitive to being a really, really good team. We're not at the championship level yet, folks. Now, I'll be happy to eat my words if we get that far and win one. I will be happy about that. However, when you speak on depth, we can't win anything if we don't have depth and guys that are going to be able to step in and there's no drop off.
There you go.
The secondary's got to be fixed before we even think about a championship, because we don't even know who's going to be at that number 2 corner. Kobe Bryant's doing well, but Mike Hughes has got the contract. So who are you going to play? D. Alford, this is my thing. Leave D. Alford as a special teamer like Kadero Hodge. It's just what it is. He is an ace on special teams. As a return man, he's good. Also, as a guy that's going to make tackles. I'm not going to start him anymore because the man pretty much looked like a piece of burnt bologna in a frying pan when he out there covering hit receivers. It's just what it is.
You ain't.
It's the fast, twitchy receivers. It's
hold on. You're not about to slander bologna. I'm just saying.
I love bologna. Shoot, I'm about to have a bologna.
I'm talking about the player, and this man talking about the bologna. Lord,
you right.
mercy.
You right. With the way half of the fan base think about it, dog. Come on, man. It's a lot of bologna that people still eating out here. Pause.
Hey.
Gotta throw that out there, man.
It's the fast, twitchy receivers for D. Alford, I think, for me. Like again, when you see him like with the Jordan Addison, he's fast, he's twitchy, and he gave D some problems, But at the end of the day, man, D is a gamer. I do like him on special teams as well. I mean, he's going to fight for a position on this team regardless. I still think he makes this team somewhere, even if it is just for special teams. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, Ryan, I'm with you as far as it's not about the potential. It's about the results. Because, again, good intentions without good action means nothing. So at the end of the day, it's all about the best player getting in that Falcon uniform, repping this logo, getting that depth, like I said, so we can turn into a championship contender. You got to have that depth. And we're starting to get that. You know what I'm saying? So slowly but surely, let's go ahead and get ready for Falcons football, y'all. I think it's heading in the right direction.
Here's my last point, and I'm a slide, man, because I thank y'all for letting me in here. I'm going to say this. There was a kid out of Jackson State that I've been talking about for the longest, and Herb Mulligan. The Giants got him on the practice squad right now. My thing is this. If he gets cut, you bring him in to compete. Real talk. Herb is one of those dudes that's got vision, patience, and has really good balance. And he's a hell of a pass blocker. You have to understand this, folks. I love Tyler Algier. I don't think Tyler Algier need to go nowhere. I'm gonna be 100 with you on that. That's my guy. I like Bijan, but I loathe Tyler Algier. That's my guy right now.
Shout out to Uncle Lou.
Shout out to Uncle Lou and Tyler.
Go ahead.
So my thing is this: if you're thinking about getting rid of him after this year, if you're not going to pay him, you're going to have somebody that's going to be a second stringer. And even this year, you got to make sure that you have a for sure pretty much a third string running back that's going to be able to carry the load. Because even though Bijan's runs are breathtaking and beautiful, it's like a deer running through a minefield. That's the best way to describe it. Because
Yeah.
it's not how it's going to happen. It's going to be when it's going to happen.
Yep.
I pray to God that he never experiences injury. Hopefully he has a career like Barry Sanders where he can just go through and have little nicks, but nothing serious.
Right.
But every time you see him jump cut, legs are out there and doing all this, you got to think about it, man. The human body is not built for that type of torque. It's not. So it might not even be a player that hit him. He might hurt himself by just cutting a certain way. We saw that with Jamal Anderson back in the day.
Right.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of those lately.
So you have to have somebody that's going to be able to step in at that third string spot. That's critical for us at that running back spot. So I'm with it like this here. If Corbin is the guy who we just brought in, kid came out of Florida State, if he can hold up and do his thing, cool. But if not, get somebody in here that's going to do the job and be ready at that third string spot, because that is a crucial spot for us right now with running back. So I appreciate y'all for having me on, boys. So I'll tune in Thursdays at 8 p.m. Birdcage LLC on YouTube. We just hit 800 subscribers. And also a special thanks again to Mr. John Abraham, my man Smitty, and A1 were able to set that up for us, man. We definitely appreciate it. And we definitely love you guys. And we're going to continue to keep supporting y'all. And, man, we getting ready to take – I'm going to say this, and I mean this with all due respect to all content creators, and it's just what it is. We finna knock heads off. So if your ass ain't coming right, you gonna get left. Like we say in the cage, you either get right or you get left. So get right, hit this like and subscribe button for Smitty and A1 out here, and do that for my show as well. But continue to keep coming through, because again, we're gonna give it to you raw and we're gonna give it to you uncut and pure, just like that fresh dope off the coast of Florida. Shout out to my coasties out there. You know what it is, baby. We got to keep it dope, pure, and uncut. I love y'all boys, man. Ghost.
Deuce. Yeah, man. Our boy Ryan, the historian, man, coming through. But yeah, man. Great show, Smitty.
But before we get at it, man, we got one more person in the back room.
Okay.
We got to welcome him in, man. We ain't seen him in a while. But we know he gonna keep giving us good content. He gonna find a way to make it back. Shout out to our boy Wolf, man. Wolf, what's up, man?
Wolf.
What's up with y'all fellas, man?
How you feeling?
Man?
I'm feeling great, man. Like I said, man, I'm feeling good. You boys been putting out some good content. Y'all been keeping me up what's going on, because I was in the Bahamas on the draft day, and then I just came back from Morocco a couple weeks ago. So so I don't really know what's going on. I've been hearing some things and stuff like that, but I'm on my vacation mode right now. I ain't really been shooting too much content, but again, I feel that everybody's excited, and that's great that everybody's excited, man. I'm happy that everybody is excited, man. So, so that's good, man. That's good. So, but that being said, it's let's see what happens, I guess, right? When they got to face the Bucks week 1 out the gate. And listen, I hope and pray. I never pray for the misery, but the bar for being a Falcon fan, Smitty A1, is very low. It's a very low bar.
Yeah.
And that frustrates me more than anything, because the bar is set so low. I understand it's very important, Smith A1, training camp, OTAs, it's very important.
Correct.
I would be excited if I was a Super Bowl champion going back to training camp.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Right? We have been nowhere near nothing for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
So for Javon Walker to beat somebody at practice doesn't do anything for the Wolf. right?
No, I totally.
Okay.
Agreed.
So when the bar is set so low, it frustrates me because the Atlanta fan base, Falcon fan base, is so enriched in culture. It's so enriched with people that love this team. Yet when you get nobody watches a boxer at training. They watch him when they get in the ring.
Facts.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen to Javon Walker, James Pierce when they go up against a real offensive line? That's what we have to wait and see. Because Ebiketie, I think, was coming on strong last year, and I really believe that he could step up his game. So could Zach Harris. But okay,
Right.
you gambled. You said, okay, let's go get two guys. Okay, let's go get two guys. I hope and pray that these two guys work out.
Yeah.
I hope,
Only time to
because
tell.
because if not, Schmidt, A1, if not, then the real story would be how Sean McVay fleeced the Falcons and Raheem Morris again.
You ain't lying about that.
Right? And then Father's Day, when Father's Day comes around and everybody in the chat hates the Wolf because the Wolf, the Wolf was always negative. No, it could work out. It could be great. Number one, you got to go through the Bucks. The Bucks have been champions 4 years in a row, ladies and gentlemen. Baker Mayfield threw for 4,000 yards last year. And they got a good wide receiver, by the way, in the draft.
They did.
Another one.
Yeah.
So, so if we're just banking on these people, then guess what? Like the bars, it frustrates me. But at the end of the day, I am excited to watch them. I am excited to see what they can do. But we got to stop setting the bar low. We need to start setting the bar very, very high. And for me, nothing but an NFC championship appearance is going to do it for me.
Agreed.
Because when you look around the NFC, not AFC, Smith, A1, there's not a lot of strong teams in the NFC. There's not.
Well, two of them in the NFC East.
Right.
The rest,
right. Yeah. So that for me, that's just where I'm at right now. I think that it's just of how can we bring this across. I've said it before and I'll say it again. They're very young on defense, very, very young, very, very capable of getting off the field when needed. My whole thing is I hope that the middle of that defense, I hope and pray that they don't get pushed around. Because if they get pushed around, then Javon Walker and James Pierce are worth nothing if they get pushed around.
Facts.
So, so when people say, Wolf, you're so negative. No, sometimes you have to step back and look at what your team is doing. And you have to understand, Terry Fontenot knew he was going to do this last year if he got a shot. If you get another shot, you say to yourself, okay, Mr. Blank, by the way, the meeting was brief. That's what they said. They said the meeting was brief. Arthur Blank probably asked 2 or 3 questions, and the meeting was brief. What are we doing? We already know what we're doing. Blah, 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 blah. Mr. Beatles, how is the finances going to go? People have to understand, in business, you have to be 3 years out. Yes. You have to be 3 years out.
Absolutely.
So Smitty's Sports Machine has to be 3 years out on YouTube. A1 Forever has to be 3 years out to see where the content is going to go, where the business is going to go. You have to be 3 years out. If I'm in the truck and this is my truck and I ran this business for 20 years, I had to know where my assets were, where the liabilities are, right? Absolutely. You have to be 3 years out. And guess what? John Litt, the GM of the Bucks, has been kicking butt for the past 9 years or something. He's been kicking Fontenot, Mickey Loomis, and I don't even know who the other one is for the Carolina Panthers. He's been kicking butt, right? So that being said, I mean, that's how I feel. I hope and pray that they do well. I do. But you know, it's going to be a hard. I think it's going to be a hard ask. The first 6 weeks, because you go to Washington, then you got to buy. You got Buffalo. That's
Mhm.
week 6, and then you
Luckily
start
you
looking
at
at the
home.
yeah.
Still.
But A1, look, Smith. You know what people not realizing is you start looking at the game schedules.
Mhm.
You got 1 o'clock, and then you got an 8:15. Then you got a short week going to San Francisco,
Yes,
and
Yep.
those
sir.
players they need to be dialed in so much. You have to understand. Like when wifey walk into the room, I gotta solve that problem before she even says my name. Bop, it gotta be quick.
Mhm.
Bop, I
Right.
can't even let her get started. Right?
Yep.
I can't even let her get started. I gotta be dialed in. And those players need to get dialed in because if you look at the times of those games, Smith, first 6 weeks, A1, you look and you be like, yo, if your baby mother giving you some hell, they ain't gonna be focused. They ain't gonna be focused.
It's all over the place. It is. I agree.
Nobody's talking about that neither. When you start looking at the times and you start looking and you be like, oh, wait a minute, they got a short week here, then they going over there, then they got an 8 o'clock, they got a 1 o'clock, they got a couple of 4s, they got some primetime games. And you look and you be like, well, wait a minute, are they gonna be dialed in for that? Because Javon Walker, what is college? 13 weeks?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, NFL is 17, baby.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Count the
Okay.
preseason with 20.
20, right? So
Yeah.
is he gonna be? Is he gonna be dialed in? Is he gonna be? Is he gonna be ready to go? Is James Pierce gonna be ready to go? Is Xavier Watt gonna be dialed in? Are these boys gonna be dialed in because we need them to be dialed in? Is Leonard Floyd gonna be the leader now and say, hey, let's? I don't know who the leader is. Who's the leader?
Yeah.
Who's the leader?
Right. We talked about that the other day about having leaders.
Who's
But who
Optimus
is it?
Prime on this defense? Who's Optimus Prime? Who? I don't know.
I hate to say it, but it's probably just Nate.
Jesse Bates, right? And Jesse's a little older. Jesse's a little older, and and that's going on. But I have a lot of questions, and yes, I want to be positive. I do, I do want to be positive. But when I pay attention to what the Bucks are doing,
Mhm.
I'm like, yo, you guys think it's gonna be easy going over there? It's not gonna be easy at
Nah,
all going. And
I know Wolf.
by the
I asked
way,
for the Bucks week one. I wanted the
yeah,
Bucks
yeah,
to win.
yeah. I listen. I'm not. I don't think Raheem Morris used the right words. I don't want to outrun the South. I want to decapitate the South. There's no. I don't want to outrun anybody. I want them to understand who we are when we walk in. Because when Matt Ryan put on that jersey, I didn't worry about where we was going.
Right.
It didn't matter where we was going to go play. It didn't matter if we were going to Kansas City with Matt or San Francisco with Matt or Seattle with Matt. I didn't care. I know number 2 is going to give me the best chance to win. I know that.
We did know that.
So is Michael going to be there? And that kid is still young. People think, oh, he's not going to make mistakes. Smith, I'm sorry to be so long-winded. He's not going to make mistakes. It's when he makes the mistakes. I would rather him throw an interception in the first quarter, not in the fourth quarter.
Hello.
Right? That kid is still, the development word gets thrown out as soon as you talk about the arrow. It gets thrown out, the development. That kid is still young. He still has to develop things. So, and Smith.
It's rookie season.
That's right. So, and listen, Smith, that kid, one thing about that kid is he doesn't want to take a lot of punishment and he'll throw the ball away. He's going to throw it away, right?
Right.
And that's what I want him to do. I don't want him to be fourth quarter, 2 minutes to go, and he throws an interception, Smith. I don't want that. You know what I mean? You throw an interception first quarter, that's fine, great. Right. It's the development. It's when he's going to make mistakes because that kid is going to make mistakes. He's going to make mistakes.
And the last thing that bothers me is you got Caleb on the right side blocking. So that's a problem in itself.
Right. And and Smith, and that is something where I'm looking at, and I'm like, can this kid, and like you said, can he get value out of people? See, the best leaders are gonna get value out of their co-workers.
Yeah.
He got to get the value out of Pitt. He's got to get value out of Ray McLeod. He's got to get value. He's got to get value. Mooney, value. So that's how I feel, man. It's good to see you guys, though, man. It's great to see you guys.
Hey man, we
Hey
appreciate
man,
you
we
coming in and
appreciate
getting
you
that
coming in and
perspective
getting that
because
perspective
a lot
because
of people
a
are
lot of
not
people
going
are
to
not
find
going
it
to find it
popular, but
popular,
at the same
but at
time,
the same
these
time,
are
these
real
are
facts
real
about the
facts
time
about
zone.
the time
And
zone.
I mean, for those who have
And for
traveled,
those who have
when you
traveled,
travel to
you
multiple
travel
time zones,
multiple time zones. Yep.
yeah, it can throw you off. So I mean, about being locked in, Penix rookie season, et cetera, man. Like so, hey Wolf, you came in and said a mouthful just
Out
like
for
Ryan,
just like right.
like the rest of the guys. We appreciate you.
Hey, I appreciate you guys, Smitty, man. Have a great one. I hope to speak to you guys sometime near down the future. Listen, man. Let's temper our expectations, not exceed them. Let's temper them, so then that way we can enjoy some great football from this team. And not set the bar so low. Let's set the bar high, people. Let's get back to being dirty birds. Real men wear black. 98 still. Let's get back to that, please. Let's not be.
Yeah,
Let's not get. Let's not do cartwheels because Javon Walker beat somebody on the offensive line that's not gonna have a job in a couple of weeks. Come on now. Sorry to say it. I'm saying, but Smitty, man, God bless the family. A1, God bless the family, man, and
thank you, bro.
congratulations to the OKC, man, Thunder, man, for winning that NBA championship. Great series, man, against Indiana.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All
You
right,
on
man,
mute? You
fellas,
on
man,
mute?
be good, fellas, man.
All right, we'll
All right, we'll
appreciate it.
appreciate it. All right, brothers.
All right.
Man, that was Wolf solidified, man. We ain't seen Wolf in a minute, but hey, he said he was on vacation. And I need to take my behind to Morocco. I don't know, what am I doing? But hey, I'm just saying, everybody that came up on the panel, we appreciate you seriously. Came up here bringing that realness. And that's what we need here in the Falcons Nation, man. Just good Falcons talk, you know what I'm saying? Perspectives, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody just being respectful to one another. So, man, salute to each and every last one of you guys that definitely tuned in with us from Twitter, Facebook, to YouTube, wherever the heck we at. And look what we got. Look what we got. What you
Shout out
got,
to my
Smitty?
boy. Shout out to my boy Mike for the super chat, man. Truly appreciate it. $10. I probably go get me a 10 piece with that, but I'm gonna save it. But look, I appreciate y'all donation, man. Y'all been doing y'all thing with the donation, man. Either in the super chat or the super thanks, which y'all can view in the shorts. And y'all can still donate there as well. But again, I appreciate you, M Dub. And I had to put up that post on my community of him winning that jersey, man, because you don't get to do that every day. That's something special that he's gonna have a keepsake for the rest of his life, man. So shout out to M Dub for that. And again, y'all see what's going on with these Iranians and this war. Please, pray for these guys, man, as they're putting their lives on the line. So M Dub, man, like I said at the beginning of the show, please stay safe over there.
Yes.
And we hope you pray you make it back home safely, man, to your
Yes,
family.
sir.
But again, man, thank you for the super chat. But this has not been another great show, man. And training camp battles, cornerbacks. And before I go, man, I just got to say this question that was asked earlier: what we're going to draft next year? I'm thinking linebacker because linebacker is still a big question mark. Yeah, they like what Diablo is doing. Yeah, they like with Caden Ellis brings. Jalen Walker can play inside, outside, but you still need depth at every position. I still think um, linebackers a need. But before we get out of here, Chris, man, you got anything to add before we dip?
Hey man, just hey, everybody stay safe out there, stay prayed up, man. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna walk this thing by faith, not by sight, regardless what's happening in the world. And of course, we're going to still bring you that content because at the end of the day, sports is still going on. So, of course, just like we had the cornerback edition, we're going to have more editions as you know. So we're getting closer and closer to training camp. So you can expect that out of me and Smitty. Also, for those who are Hawks fans, hey, we got the draft on Wednesday. Hawks got 2 picks, 13 and 22. What are they going to do? We're going to go big man finally. They're going to get some pieces that maybe can help defensively on the perimeter. I mean, they're going to get some scoring. We're going to see. But at the end of the day, I mean, they have tickets still available to hit the draft party if you want to do that. Or, you know what I'm saying, if you want to watch from home, that's cool too. But regardless, and please, for those who are going to Bible study or anything like that, please say a prayer for our Atlanta Braves. Because my goodness.
My God. And look, they so up and down. They'll probably fall off a roller coaster.
Man, listen, I'm talking about Final Destination because it's just so up and down with those guys.
Hey man, I'm talking about Final Destination because when I drive behind a truck full of logs,
Yeah,
I pull over to the emergency lane instantly.
yeah, still get over.
But
Still
look,
get over. Oh, and shout out to the ladies of ATL, the Atlanta Dream, who is a Big Ten foe right now, one of the best teams in the WNBA. Definitely have got to give those ladies their shout out. Alicia Gray, most likely going to the All-Star game. I know she's in some voting. You got to get Ryan Howard in there too, because Ryan Howard is definitely taking off as well. The big lineup, I believe, is helping these ladies helping them
hey
tremendous.
man, you got to give a shout out to Pow Pow as well.
Oh,
Pow
I wasn't done. Oh, I wasn't done.
Okay,
Tahina
I'll
Pow
just make it.
Pow
I'll
is
just
the
make it
reason
sure.
why
I'll just
Haley
make it sure.
Jones was
I'll just make it
released.
sure.
Because Haley Jones was brought in to kind of be like that secondary, second, third option. But at the end of the day, Tahina Pow Pow, another South Carolina player. You know, you already know that Don Staley don't play over there. So that's another South Carolina player that we have in there, just like Alicia Gray. And those two right there, hey, man, they are shooting the lights out. Pow Pow having a career high.
Championship pedigree, baby.
Championship pedigree. And that's what you got to bring in here. And again, like you said, you got Brittany Griner coming over as well, being that solidified big girl in the middle. And hey, at the end of the day, man, I'm enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to those ladies, man, each and every last one of them. They're playing hard. The coaching staff definitely got to give one of the biggest shout out to the coaching staff and the scheme over there as well. Everything is working. I believe that they continue to be consistent, man. Them girls can go somewhere.
Yeah, and right quick, man. We working on some thing behind the scenes. Once the draft is done, man, we're gonna try to get Bart Rathbone to come on.
Rathburn, yes.
Yeah, to come on and talk to us about the draft, what he expects from the Hawks, and what's coming up with the offseason. So we're gonna keep working on that until we can make it happen to bring it to y'all. But still believe, man, we working behind the scenes still. But tell everybody where to find you, man.
Hey, man, you can find me at A1 Forever Sports. That is the platform on YouTube. Please always come over, like, comment, and subscribe, man. We definitely ramping back up on some content. The summertime, get a little time where you can really kind of kick back a little bit. Well, not necessarily kick back, but kind of like reprogram, recharge everything because, news kind of dies down a little bit. But, we're going to continue to pump out that content. I know me and Smitty, we got some few projects we got coming up. Of course, again, if you can make it to training camp, man, make sure you get out there. I know we're going to be out there on the 24th. So, yeah, man, going to have some fun that day for sure, man. See what these guys got. Also, catch me on the Hawks Digest as well. Again, like I just was saying, draft on Wednesday. We'll see where the Hawks go because we're definitely going to be talking about it highly and so much over on Hawks Digest, so catch me there as well. Twitter, A1 Forever. Instagram, A1 Forever, and the real A1 Forever on TikTok. Hey, man, let's get it.
Facts. Y'all know where to find me, man, at FatBoySlim_21 on Twitter. But I'm always blowing it up, man, because that's what I do. NFC South Roundtable Tuesdays during the season. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. To bring y'all hot content from the NFC South. And always catch me on Smitty Sports Machine as I try to bring y'all the latest coverage of the Atlanta Falcons, get my thoughts on what's going on with the Falcons. Y'all can also check out my playlist as I got my all-time playlist, and y'all will see the rest of them when y'all click on it. But I always got my top 5 list. I always got players rewinds and things of that nature. But I'm still building on that. So please go check that playlist out. And shout out to my boy Ryan from the Bird Cage. Thank you for coming through. Thank my boy Wolf for coming through. Also, Miss Carrie, thank you for always supporting us. Like I said, I used that tweet off of her
Oh yeah.
Twitter from the NFL draft. So shout out to her. One time for the fans, shout out to Jack Spade. Shout out to Bodie 3000. As they continue to put content out. Shout out to 95 North Falcons Talk Show, my boy Berto. Shout out Dirty Bird Central Kev. And we're going to keep putting this thing along, man.
Oh, yeah. And shout out to T Will as well, man. Glad you're doing well. Glad everything is all right. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? He's going to be getting back to it. I'm pretty sure he's chopping at the bit to get out there on the content as well. So, yeah, just shout out to everybody. Big Low, Uncle Steve, everybody, man. Salute to you all.
And I got to give a big shout out to the AFN Ladybirds, man. They had Michael Turner on the show, man. So y'all go check that out. Yeah, that was a great interview, man. Eric Parker, that's fam, man. What's
what
good?
What do, EP?
But yeah, man, y'all go check out AFN Ladybirds, man. They did their thing on AFN as they brought in Michael Turner. Great interview. And look, man, Falcon content creators always out here putting on the show for y'all, man. So y'all please go support all the content creators because they put their blood, sweat, and tears into this. And trust me when I tell y'all, it's not easy talking about this microphone. I was once when I started this, you wouldn't think I would be talking as long as I have because I would not talk. But again, thank y'all for tuning in. From my boy A1, and we'll be back soon, man. Soon. But y'all stay tuned to A1 Forever, 95 North Falcons Talk Show, Dirty Bird Central, and Smitty Sports Machine as we continue bringing y'all the great content. But we're going to holler at everybody soon, man. Peace.